Amy? C. Okay, additional amendments, Christina? Okay, additional amendments to the agenda, Ashley? Rocky?
New to strike word defendant.
Okay. Any additional amendments to the agenda? Seeing none, I can entertain a motion to approve the agenda as amended. Zach?
A second.
Second by Sabrina, all those in favor, please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All those opposed? All those abstaining? The agenda has been approved as amended. Now we'll go ahead and move into approval of the minutes from our previous council meeting, November 10th. So I can entertain a motion to approve that unless there are any objections.
Move to approve the minutes on November.
Very good. Second? Second. Second by Zach. All those in favor, please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I had 10 last time.
It just means.
Someone move around. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's just do that. Let's do that again. Maybe people are moving around. All those in favor of approving the minutes from the November 10th meeting, please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
He wasn't there.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. 9. All those opposed? All those abstaining? The minutes from the previous council meeting have been approved. And now, we'll go ahead and we'll move into public comment. The first round of public comment will be audio only. So once that gets adjusted, we'll go around the room. So all audio only public comments.
Sure, yes.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you. Hey everyone, I talked to you before, my name is Emma, I'm campus organizer for Calvert, and I just wanted to make a couple of quick announcements. The first is that, one of the election results that was pretty exciting was that Proposition 67 was passed. And so that means that the plastic bag, the single-use grocery plastic bag ban in California will be upheld, which is exciting. We don't have to continue, polluting our oceans. Great. So that is, due to a lot of work on campus. We did a lot of, press and media around that, but also a lot of students pledged to vote and actually voted or took action. That is in large part because of students. So I wanted to thank you all for your help on that. And then just letting you know, our election campaigns are over. Now we are moving forward on, issues that could potentially be targeted, that we've worked on in the past, could be targeted by the new administration. So environmental protection, climate change policy, even financial aid, which a couple of years ago we helped pass $36 billion in federal financial aid for students. The new administration has talked about allocating that money elsewhere, and so we are moving into more intensive campaigns to make sure that issues around environment, around financial aid are upheld, and making sure that we are strong in California on these issues as well, that we can be a leader in our country on those things. In fact, we're going to have our statewide student conference this weekend, where students on the executive board will be deciding the campaigns that we'll be working on in the future. Right now, we are pledging, which I don't know if y'all know about, but basically we're also running a survey at the same time, asking students what they think we should be working on, so that we are able to represent students as best as possible. So just wanted to let you all know that, give a little update about what Calvert is working on. Thanks so much. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, additional audio only public comment. Seeing none, let's go ahead and switch over to audio and visual public comment. Okay, this is audio and visual public comment. Okay, seeing none, we'll close public comment. And before we move into the next part of the meeting, I just want to go ahead. I apologize. I didn't do this earlier. I want to recognize any proxies or people we have in the room. So I believe, yeah.
My name is Nico. I'm co-chief for the office.
Great, thank you. Okay, So I just wanted to recognize the new folks in the room, and with no special presentations, no appointments at the first. And then we'll go ahead and move into officer member reports. So beginning with myself. I just have a very brief report, I hope, for this week. And one was earlier today, I had a phone call with the USC student body president, just in advance of the rivalry matchup coming up on Saturday, and just in terms of maybe potential interesting collaboration we can do throughout the year. We had a nice phone call about just differences on our campuses, about how the aftermath of the elections played out on our campuses, about different issues that are facing campuses between the public and the private. And also we decided to place a friendly wager on the game on Saturday, depending on who the victor is. Whoever loses between USC and UCLA is going to have to go to the other campus to take a tour and wear their shirt, and then write an article in a newspaper about the tour that they took. So that'll be interesting, and I hope for the best. And in addition to that, on Friday, I have a meeting with Chancellor Block along with the graduate president, Michael Stiles. I'll let you know how that goes next week. Thank you. Any questions? Okay, move on to the internal vice president.
Okay, just like two things. The first is that I mentioned kind of force. Cornhole with Cops was moved to the very beginning next quarter, so I'll show you what the exact date is. And then for the USAC Final Study Hall, that a lot of you have reached out to my office about co-programming with us. We're going to start sending out like a concrete email of all the information, what we have need from you, your logos, etc., because we got it changed to the Sunday night right before finals week, so that's December 4th, I believe. So it should be open from 7 p.m. to midnight. We just have to finalize that it was okay. So we don't want to be in the way of any finals or have a hard time setting up for the staff right before. So since we got that okay by everyone, it'll be December 4th, that's the night from, I think we're going to try to open the doors at 6 p.m. We just have to finalize with Amber if they're going to be ready for us to use the room at like 5 p.m. so we can set up. So just expect an email from the director for that. And then Raja, the director at the LGBT Center, he reached out to me about Pride Week, which is beginning spring quarter, but they really want to make it really big. So he's going to start working with offices. So if you have any interest in helping out plan, or your office wants and like to help out as much as they can, either just email Raji, who I sent out the email 2 weeks ago for him, for a day. And so if you want to help out with Pride Week, just let them know. We just want to reach out to you all about that. And that's it.
Any questions for the IVP? Okay, thank you. We'll move on to the external vice president.
So the election is now over, and we are gearing up for a number of other big campaigns. I'll give you 4 quick updates. Number 1, this Thursday, the Regents of the University are discussing a proposal to increase tuition by 2.5% for each year for the next 10 years. 2.5% times 10 years is 25%. That's not how interest compounds, I think, last week. The point is, it's actually much worse than 25%. They're essentially in January voting on a 25% tuition increase. We are planning and actively preparing a Fund the UC campaign to make sure that it's clear that we're upset about this tuition hike, but also that we understand where a lot of the root of this is coming from, which is the state of California, and lack of support for funding the UC. So that's number 1. Number 2, activate the activism. In spite of this election, a lot of students are feeling like, I'm very angry, I'm very upset, young people need to be more involved, need to be more active in politics. But how do we do that? DPP over here, we're doing that. So we're making sure that we want to educate students on ways that they can be civically involved. That's really easy, that people don't realize that a phone call to your local district office is actually easier than writing an angry Facebook status and has a lot more impact. That's actually the activism. Number 3, SOS, which is the UC Student Association's semi-annual campaign, Sustain Our Students. We're working on a housing report to measure, mostly qualitatively, the state of off-campus housing problems that students face with their tenants, problems they face finding housing, going a lot further than just the cost and availability of housing. This is something that President Napolitano has directly asked for. Finally, number 4, we are starting conversations about making the UC sanctuary campuses for undocumented students. Many of you may have saw that LAPD announced they're going to fight any effort to support deportation of undocumented people in LA. However, you might not know that the UC campuses themselves are not sanctuary campuses. The city of LA is a sanctuary city, but UCLA is not a sanctuary campus. So that is sort of a statewide, UC-wide campaign, really being initiated by our student regents.
Any questions for Rafi? Okay, thank you. We'll move on to the academic affairs commission.
So quick recap, and then I'll go into introducing some future events. So on Monday of this week, the Transfer Representative Office, as well as AAC, hosted a focus group with transfer and traditional students regarding online education and ways that we can improve the atmosphere that is around our academic environment, whether it be classroom settings, hours in the library, as well as overall demeanor of students in terms of the technology that they use in classes, whether it be clickers, different apps, and folded services such as Read. And another thing that we discussed was also how we are looking forward to collaborating with the administration, and through talks and conversations with Jan Wright, who's actually one of the facilitators that we had speak on Monday. I was very pleased to see that they're pretty adamant and supportive of students and the voices and the concerns that we are bringing to them. That's very encouraging. On Tuesday or today, we had our Refiner Varsity event in Kirkhoff. Went really well. Thank you for those council members that were able to show up. That meant a lot. And tomorrow we have our appointment to town hall. Actually, in this room, starting at 6 p.m. We had to move the date because we built the room a little bit earlier so people can go to the GSC bonfire. So we moved it from Thursday to Wednesday, but that's tomorrow. Anyone's welcome. There will be appointments there for the academic senate who will kind of voice what they've been learning throughout their committee meetings. This Friday, I'll be in a conference call with the academic affairs kind of officers throughout the UC. So we're going to be discussing different affordable and accessible resources that students can use. And our next step will be able to hopefully think about getting a UC collaboration so we can discuss different resources across the UC campuses that we can kind of form under this accumulation of what academic affairs means, because it's very different in terms of how this role is on different campuses. And also updates on the survey with the Graduate Student Association. We are still in talks with the DCOM staff, who we got clarification for the timeline of the survey. We sent over a few questions regarding what we would be addressing, such as, TAs responded to emails in a timely manner. Does the TAs prepare each individuals for section like 60 capability? Can your TAs sufficiently answer the questions in the opposite section, as well as would they find it beneficial to set more office hours in a week? So as you can see, it's kind of a broad range of questions that we are hoping to address throughout this survey, but those are a few updates regarding that. And yeah, that's it.
Any questions for Ashley? Okay, move on to our next report, student wellness program.
Okay, so this week, SWC is kicking off their cold clinic for the year. So I brought a couple of things I talks for y'all that SWC has made with the Ash Center. Basically, we'll just be handing them out through our office, which is Kirkhoff 308, during food season. And then this week, we also have Body Image Task Force hosting workouts where you can go for free to put in on the hill for a variety of workouts that will be held in a safe space, free of judgment. And then tomorrow is SWC's Oral Health Fair, where we will be hosting with the UCLA School of Dentistry and the Ash Center to provide free dental screenings as well as other products for dental hygiene. That's in Danette from 12:30 to 5. Danette Plaza from 12:30 to 5. And then, let's see. Okay, so ECC, or American Consent Coalition, has also released their application for attending the Students Against Sexual Violence Summit, which is the only student-led conference or annual conference on issues of sexual violence. It's hosted by BCC, CARE, and Res Life. And there's a lit space, so I would encourage you all to RSVP. And that will be due January 23rd. The summit itself is on the 28th. SWC is also coming out with their fellowship applications, which will be out week 10 for the fellowship, which begins during the winter quarter. And we have our last first day in the CPR classes of the month this weekend. So if you are interested, they're only $10 to students, and you can sign up on UCLACPR.com. That's it.
Thank you. Any questions for Christina? Okay, move on to the facilities commissioner, but facilities commissioner is not here. I apologize that we didn't strike that. So we'll move on to campus events commissioner.
Hello, everybody. So we have 2 events this week, actually. One's going on in about 40 minutes. That's going to be the Secret Life of Pets on, that's going to be an AGB. Sausage Party is being shown Thursday. And then, so the thing I'm excited about is we're showing Jackie on November 30th, which is going to be a pre-screening. The movie comes out December 2nd. That's going to be a movie starring Natalie Portman that is about Jackie Kennedy. So, and then that movie has gotten really good reviews so far. It's 97% Rotten Tomatoes, so I'm really excited for that. And that is it for this quarter.
Thank you. Any questions for Jordan? Okay, move on to general representative one.
Hey everyone, my office is working their Down Scholarship Resource Center on campus to connect more students with scholarships, doing a comprehensive research on exactly what we have available right now and what we can help improve, how they can be a better resource on campus for more students and do more outreach on campus. We're also working with CAPS at the moment to get more counselors on the Hill, so that students have more face time with CAPS, especially in their first and second year. We're also currently working on a comprehensive funding bodies guideline that will be easily available in PDF format for all students in a more accessible way, so that more students can access funding bodies on campus. So that's what we're working on, and it's going to be great at the end of the quarter.
Thank you. Any questions for Zoe? Okay, move on. Do you have a report you want to give for Ruth?
Yep.
Okay, go ahead.
So for our speaker series, we're currently in contact with a few people in the LA area who could come speak. We hopefully will go with 1 and potentially 2 speakers who will be here winter quarter by the end of the week. So we also recently put on an election night viewing party on the Hill in partnership with OCHC. And that was a huge success. We had 1,200 students come throughout the night. Some other projects we were taking on, we have recently started a free food Facebook group. So it's a place where, it's a page where different organizations and clubs can advertise their events if they're providing free or low cost food, and students will be able to use that to their advantage.
Thank you. Great. Any questions for General Proxy? Okay. And now we move on to our administrative representatives, starting with Dr. Geller.
So, many of you know the chancellor got a call for applications for students who wanted to accompany him to Washington to go on break. We're looking to take a group of 20 students. There were over 150 applications. So it is quite competitive, which on the one hand is great that there's so much interest, on the other it's unfortunate that so many highly qualified students won't have the opportunity. But those who are selected should be identified and notified within the next week or so.
Thank you.
Question?
Yeah, any questions?
Yeah.
Yeah, go
Go ahead,
ahead.
don't get what they're advocating for.
I don't have the answer.
Okay. Also, those who don't get in, we have lots of funding during the pandemic that you can go to DC to know the line. So there you go. If we can share that.
Okay, any additional questions from Dr. Go? Okay, move on, you're up.
A few things. Tomorrow, there is a planned work stoppage. Teamster Local 2010, which is a skilled trades bargaining unit, is expected to strike. Those are skilled, so plumbers, elevator repair, those kinds of stuff. So there are some backup plans around that. Elections, there's just a minor break because the city of LA primary elections are March 7th, and then general municipal is May 16th. And the positions are mayor, city attorney, city controller, and for us in Westwood, your city council member, Paul Frederick is up for re-election, so that's an opportunity to wait on local representation there. So it's a good year to register your vote.
And the neighborhood housing initiative.
Yeah. And thanks to all those of you who are celebrating November, No Shave November. Men's Health
Great.
This is just November.
Any questions for Rob? Okay, seeing none, move on to Patty.
The main update I have is that I sent out an email, we are doing our final safety walkthrough on Tuesday afternoon. So if there's any changes that you were emailed from the first walkthrough of things that you need to address, please make sure you do so before our next walkthrough on Tuesday. All of this information will also be sent to USAC for, so they can be aware as to the safety inspection results of all the offices in Kurnow.
Fantastic. Oh, yeah.
I know we were taking out office and then we put label things that come out of the way.
You also have to email me so I can go to look through that. So if you can send me an email so that I can pass it on to our custodial staff to make those pickups, or our waiting staff depending on the size. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, sorry. I don't check the offices individually. So that's what I know.
Any more questions for Patty? Okay, move on to Roy.
Employee appreciation sale is coming up for all employees, so it's 33% off, which is quite good. So 18th to the 23rd. All employees, 18th to 23rd. Computers. Not computers. Not clothes. But clothing, very all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. Any questions for Roy? Okay, and that will conclude our officer member reports, and we'll move into fund allocations. Oh, yeah, sorry.
Quick question.
Yeah.
For those in our offices that have, for Roy and Patty, for if they have volunteer discount, does that apply to them also?
Yes.
Those have the
That's what
volunteer-
that means.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Probably bring their cards. We'll use that.
Okay, great, now we'll move to funding allocations, so we'll start with contingencies, so.
Reorganization supply this week, and public offices. Total required was $2,888.95. The cost of the amount was $1,838.95. Blackcom recommends $380.
Okay, and just these, none of these were USAC offices?
No.
Okay. Jack?
I move to approve the contingency allocation for $380.
Second by Sabrina, all those in favor, please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All those against? And all those abstaining? This allocation has been approved. Now, we'll move on to our remaining funding allocation. This is for the AAC committee travel plan.
Yes, so a quick update on that, the allocation was still in play before the meeting started, but I just got a notice that the recipient received a scholarship, so she won't be needing the funding for a submission health plan, so we won't be doing any allocation.
Okay, thanks for letting us know. So we'll strike that, and that concludes our allocations for tonight's meeting, and we'll go to old business, and this is the discussion, or actually action item for an ad hoc committee regarding USAC reform. So, David, do you want to initiate this conversation about the committees and the parameters and whatnot?
Yes, okay, so, we can't build the house that we're standing in right now. So,
we need to, what that means is like, we can't have all of us just making that committee and then be like, what should USAC look like differently? We need to reach out into the community of students and see whether that's students that don't know or ever have heard of the word USAC or people that are very educated on what the system does. I think that we need to create an ad hoc committee. We can vote on, I think everyone does have a reason to be on the committee completely, but I think that having so many people on it might be a little difficult with differing opinions. So we should vote on how many people we want to be on the committee. I talked to some council members and we said 4 or 5. Or if we want to do more or less, I mean, that's up to all of us. And then we also need to vote on how many people we want that are outside the USAC space to have. I think that should be a larger number.
Well, I think for the purpose of an ad hoc committee, it's council members within council, they form a committee, and then you can, and then at your discretion, since I assume that you will be like the de facto chair for this committee, you sort of, unless you don't want to have that, which is since you got it for, you want to sort of be the convener of this committee. So council can vote on it, we can discuss the things that you want, that we as a council want it to focus on, or at least general ideas, like you said, you want to go out to the community, talk to them, at least general things to frame it with, and then council can vote on it, and then after that, council members who want to be part of this, they can reach out to you if you feel comfortable being sort of a convener, and then you can kind of go from there. And then when you, after a period of time that you feel like you've collected, different information, and you think that you have like some solid ideas, that you can come back to the council and maybe like do a special presentation on behalf of the committee, or something to that effect. So before we go and vote on it, we can open the floor for discussion. So I can entertain a motion for the approval of an ad hoc committee regarding USAC reform. I can entertain.
I move to add an ad hoc committee.
Okay, and I have a second. So by Ashley. So now we'll have a discussion, and then at the end you can call the question, and then go ahead and go to a vote to officially affirm this ad hoc. So, any points of discussion from the council?
So, would we do like an application process?
Well,
I think that's decided within the ad hoc committee.
yeah, the members of
That's temporary.
yeah, the members of the council will sort of decide the logistics of like what they want in terms of outreach and things, but this is just sort of to make this an official, like, recognized body of the council, so we can kind of just give suggestions for framing.
Okay.
So just for clarification purposes, would this be members of the council serving on this ad hoc committee?
Yeah. This would be council, and then if you want to have other people, then you can invite them that. You're just-
Also, just to make sure everyone knows like the time commitment, at least, it's probably like an hour and a half meeting each week. So if you can commit to that, like, that would be great. If we should do something every single week, that might go over, so like, count on like 1 to 3 hours maybe. But like devote that amount of time, because that's the amount of time that we need to change this institution. So just make sure that when you do vote on who's on the committee, make sure that you have the time set up.
Ashley?
So main like talking points is how many people we want on the committee first off, and then kind of structure of it, will it be basically as council members, but will people have a specific like position?
Well, that's something that we don't need to decide,
Right.
like, as a body. Like, we've had ad hoc committees in the past, like, we designated an ad hoc committee to sort of go over the language in the referendum that were passed last year that had some vagueness, and for example, we asked the council to approve it, and then after council members reached out to me, and then Amy and Zach are setting on it because they reached out, and we went from there. So it doesn't have to, be as formal process here at the table, but this is just sort of council giving the green light. And then maybe if any council members have suggestions for like big picture things that they think could be of interest to the committee, then we can go from there. That's not obvious.
We don't need to go into all the details of what the committee will talk about. However, I do think that usually when these kind of committees are created, they're created to accomplish a task, which is develop a proposal to present to council, create something usually it's not just an ad hoc committee to talk about something. We just have a number of conversations.
I think we should discuss the ideas too, like, I think we need to be able to create them, I agree with you, but like, results aren't, like, we need to have the discussion, we need to have focus group, we need to do all those things, like, yeah, it's probably gonna be 3 hours, I'm sorry, but like, we need to change the institution, we also need to create the change like after too, but without the facilitated conversation, what will happen? I mean, we can sit around being like, what's a proposal, but if we don't know the exact institution, we can't do that without a discussion.
I agree, but I don't necessarily think we need to vote on having a discussion, because you can do that without.
I don't think we're voting on having a discussion, I think we're just voting, I'm allowing people to know like how much I want to put into this committee and how much work there needs to be. Because if you just have a 30-minute meeting or a 20-minute meeting, like, all right, y'all, like, let's designate tasks or a proposal, like, a lot won't happen because we're not all collaborating at once. It takes a lot to change a whole institution. We need to be very, we need to buckle down and make sure that we have the time to do it. And it sucks that, like, that's what we're doing for, like, the people, like, for the future, right? Like, the school and representation in general.
Thank you, Sabrina.
I think like what you're saying is like there's usually like a reason to have an ad hoc committee, and I think the end goal, like if there's a lot of new things to discuss, and that's gonna be kind of the whole year. But I think the end goal is that we would set forth either one proposal or multitude of proposals to council as a whole of like we think that these are the best ideas moving forward for the future of council, or for the future of engaging out the students on campus. I think that is gonna be the main goal. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dick, but I feel like that's like what it's gonna be. It's not just talking the entire year, it's thinking of ideas, discussing, researching the entire year to make sure you think over every little aspect of if you do want to change the structure, you need to have every aspect discussed and decided and researched. And then at the end, it's gonna be a proposal of what is the best way to go about it, was it this all along, is it a Senate system, is it changing your, whatever it may be, that's gonna be the proposal at the end of it.
Yeah, I think I saw Zoe had your hand.
Sure, yeah, I think. I'm sorry, just going off that, I really appreciate that Dave wants to put so much time and effort into this. I think this is about having a conversation about something that needs to be addressed on campus. But I echo Robin's sentiments that there has to be some final goal that just going into this with a need more of this plan of we're going to talk for 3 hours. Like, I think there needs to be structure, and I think there needs to be like community input other than just like us getting together in a room for 3 hours to like banter or like go off each other.
Okay, so just to everyone's concerned, so we're all on the same page. I think there are a lot of things that are being thrown out. Okay, so the ad hoc committee that we're focusing on today is based in like 5 or 6 council members, right? So us 5 or 6 council members are going to go into a room and talk about, right? We need to talk about what we want to do. So our first meeting is probably going to be really long, right? And just like practicing that before anyone joins the committee, right? Because it's going to be a long meeting. So you talk for a lot, you just like kind of realize like what's our proposal. We're not going to be bantering for like every single meeting. We obviously need to have like a call to action, plan of action. To make sure that a proposal goes through. I mean, we can't just have a thing on the ballot after we talk a bunch and like not organize. So the whole point of the ad hoc committee is because we have so many council members on this table, it's very difficult to organize all of us on the same mindset. It's very hard to have long council meetings where we talk for 3 hours. So our first base meeting will probably be longer than anticipated, and then we'll have outreach to other community groups. We won't just have us as an ad hoc committee, but 5 council members, because like I practiced it earlier, you can't build a house while you're standing like on the foundation, you know? You need to have people from the outside also help. People that don't know what USAC is, people that may know what USAC is that haven't been involved in it, and then people that are kind of involved in it, maybe someone from the director's staff or someone from the chief's staff. That's going to get the most amount of input and the most effective amount of input to make the most amount of change that you can. So when I say that we're going to have a 3-hour meeting, or it may go on to 3 hours, just understand the time commitment that comes with being on an ad hoc committee in general. I mean, it may be longer, it may be less, but we are basing our ideas and proposals because at the end of the day, we want this to be a ballot measure and a constitution change. So we don't know where the conversation is going, but that's our end goal. A constitution change so we can have a Senate or whatever we want. this isn't made, this title isn't USAC Senate reform, it's USAC reform in general. So whatever the ad hoc committee thinks of reforming, it could be a reform as just take out the gender X and put an international rep. It could be a reform as a huge Senate. It could be a reform as whatever it wants to be. I'm just the person that would give this information to council and we would facilitate the discussion in the committee. But there needs to be an action, there has to be one. I mean, we're not just sitting here talking, or I would put it in a group and be like, hey, who wants to get coffee with me and talk about Senate? Like, that's the main point, we have to have an action. So I hope that clarifies some things. But yeah.
I think that's enough to go.
Yeah, seems to me that while it may feel early, you all need to sooner rather than later set your election calendar. And I say that in the context of this conversation because if you are going to propose a constitutional amendment to be on the ballot, you need to have a timeline by which this committee has its work done and comes forward with the final language that you all will either vote up or down. Additionally, in the last go-round, council voted to switch the ballot to a randomized ballot. And we don't know how long it's going to take the college IT unit to program a ballot that has randomization. So all of those conversations need to happen sooner rather than later, since you work back from election day to when does everything have to be finalized for the MIDA UCLA team to program the ballot, to when do all initiatives and referenda have to be approved by council so that they can be reviewed by campus council, general council, chancellor, to what your schedule is for candidates. All of that, to say that while you're saying all year, there's not a lot of all year left. You're closer to the end of fall than the start at this point. Winter will fly by, and this will all need to be resolved in before the end of the winter quarter.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. O. And what you said about the election would actually, like, I don't know if you all recall, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I sat down with our new election board chair to just sort of see what her timeline was for bringing forth the council, the calendar for the election, other different changes, and actually what she had in mind was wanting to sit down with the Constitutional Review Committee and sort of talk about different changes they might want to see to the election code, go from there, and then bring in early winter quarter their first draft of the calendar for the council to review. So I'm going to be after, and thank you for bringing that up again, because I'm going to be following up with the election chair after this meeting, like sometime later this week, to discuss if we can convene again and then sort of get the ball moving to see where they are at. So just so you all know. Okay, are there any additional,
Yeah, so that brings up the thing, even if this passes, we have a proposal by, say, late winter quarter, would that even go into effect? Or would we have to vote on the ballot before it goes into effect next year?
Yeah, exactly. If, the only way this could work would be on this spring's ballot, a measure that if it passes, would take effect with the spring election the following year. You would be electing this year 1 more year of council members using the current model, and at the same time voting to replace that the following year with a different model.
fantastic. So, and also just food for thought, I know we're talking about constitutional change and permanent like change, which is very doable, but also very, very difficult. And something else I just want you all to just think about in the meantime is the appointment process we have at the council table. You might want to also think about revisiting how appointments are done, maybe creating new appointments that the council approves to sort of, fill these different gaps that we see on our campus. And that's just a different option for you all to consider. So I'm just putting that out there about reforming appointments. Okay, so with that, I do not see any additional hands raised. So I think you can go ahead and move into a vote. All those in favor of approving an ad hoc committee regarding USAC reform, please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All those opposed? All those abstain? Any ad hoc committees have been created? Okay, thank you, council. Look forward to hearing about this soon. And that concludes our old business. Now we'll move into new business. And our new business tonight is the approval of USAC committee application, contracts, and guidelines. And this is, so do we have this? I think this will be put forward by our USAC chair that we appointed earlier in the year, Jennifer Harbeck. So is she present this evening?
She needs to be.
She doesn't need to be? Okay.
Technically doesn't,
I
if
think-
it needs to be amended, you just vote to table to next week and tell her the amendments and she can amend that.
I think it would be in the interest of the council to really explain the application, contract, and guidelines for the OSAC chair to be present for the council, and for us to just sort of blindly, I mean, unless that's at the discretion of everyone here, but just to us go ahead and vote right now, I think, might not be in the interest of this body, but were there any thoughts on that before? Do we want to table this? Do we want to go ahead and vote on this right now? Were there any thoughts before I entertain a motion?
Well, did everyone look it over? I guess I didn't send it out.
I know this was a delayed week because we just had the council meeting last week. I would suggest to the council that maybe we table this until the following week and ask the OSAC chair to come talk about this to the council, since she is the expert on all of it and can answer a question that we don't have, so. Yes.
Personally, this is not a subject that I'm knowledgeable on, and I really appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you. Patty?
The one other suggestion I made to the secretary, I'm not sure if she's just changing the dates, or if there's additional changes, because they weren't highlighted in the document.
Okay.
So, I'm not sure if this is a simple just date update to 2016, 2017, and update some of the email. So maybe if we are able to next week, now also ask her to highlight the changes.
Yeah,
So it's a little clear what she's actually changing in the guidelines and the application. I don't think it's much, but, it's harder to read.
yeah, I think that's even a more, blatant reason, because there's uncertainty surrounding these changes. We should be voting on the changes that we don't even know. So with that, I guess, can I entertain a motion to table, this OSAC item until the following meeting? I can entertain a motion for council.
I
Ashley?
move to table the approval of OSAC committee application, contracts, and guidelines.
Okay, seconded. Second by Zoe. All those in favor, please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All those opposed? And all those abstaining? We have tabled this item to the next time. Okay, and that concludes our business. Now we move into announcements. Any announcements from the council? Sabrina?
I'm gonna send out a reminder email, but Mike Cohn, he booked one of the acronym rooms for the advisor lunch that you told y'all about. Most of you replied that you couldn't come. I know there's a couple people that have conflicts, but it's Friday at 12 p.m., like just 12 to 1. If I'll send another email and I'll correct responses again, even if you already told me. But if you cannot come for some reason, please try and be proactive about emailing me on that, because all the solar advisors are coming and taking time out of their day, so you can make sure that they connect with all of us and know what kind of the students' needs, our specific office needs, etc. So that's November 18th, this Friday at 12 p.m. And it's going to be in one of the acronym rooms. I can't remember the exact room, but I'll send that email.
Great. Any additional announcements from the council?
Sorry.
Or one more?
Oh, it was just to sign up for the snacks spreadsheet.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
I still brought stacks and I didn't even sign up.
We're not gonna have that.
Okay. Dude?
No. Okay, so, I have to say about the three staff meeting, and if we do need it printed she sends them in an email, so if you do individually need it printed, you can print them, like, you can print them by yourself, if that's not true. I just think that, like, the EPA is shutting down soon, so.
I agree. Yeah, this marks the last day of the agenda. So, if you need to print agenda, you all have access to the printer. If you don't, that's your bad. You should sign up for it. It's not that it's a huge inconvenience for me, but I think that it's just an inconvenience for the trees that are.
Where's Sandra?
I was thinking, like,
And plus, it's just like, you know, it's a fun new, electronic world out there. Let's stay up and happen with it.
Electronic world. Let's make sure that they're.
And I don't, so for the study hall, we are teaming up with Sabrina, we did a relaxation type space last time, but this time the transfer interns are doing a finger painting thing, or finger painting. April 15th is the Day of Sound by the LGBT Center, we're teaming up with the transfer office teaming up with them. If you want to be in the conversation, just email me and I'll send it over to that email. The transfer town hall where we will be discussing transfer issues about what's different with housing, how can we do stuff with academics, what can we do with finding internships, what is through view, how does that work, how do you find an apartment, those types of questions will be answered at the transfer town hall. We'll be able to facilitate the questions with the transfer to rep staff will be there and able to give students resources, and also will be given, we have care counselors there and grade counselors there. They'll be able to also give a full list of self-care tips that students will walk out of, or actually we'll email them to because paper. But yeah, so then that'll be on November 30th from 6 to 8 refreshments will be provided. We have started conversations about creating UCLA as a sanctuary campus. This past week, we had a conversation about that through different avenues of different universities. And then UW, UT, the UC system, and the UCs and NYU are all looking to create a transfer representative office, which is great news. Sunset Rec, we have a Show Me the Ropes barbecue. You all are welcome to come and explain what you do for transfer overall. Because we all have a kind of a say in what all students stuff. It'd be really nice if you all came. The barbecues from 6 to 8 at Sunset Rec this Sunday. And then C-Stress Week is week 10. The CSR office is hosting a wellness workshop. We'll be doing a combination of a discussion and a meditation session. And then also to shout out to Maria Belantisi for today. I reached out to her probably Thursday or Wednesday after the election, and she really came through today with allowing us to have tea and water and juice available for students, which is great.
Thank you. Any additional announcements? I think it's up Christina.
Yeah, I just want to let you all know of an opportunity. BCC is doing a No Shame November photo series, which is really just tell stories of survivors and allies who struggle with self-image pertaining to sexual violence or sex positivity. And it can be anonymous. There's an event on Facebook that you can join if you would like to participate.
Thank you. And I had one announcement, two announcements I wanted to make. One is if you're a senior, tonight the Student Alumni Association is going to be having an event in Westwood Village at Barney's for all the seniors. So if you're interested in that, then you should go to Barney's tonight. And secondly is I'm really excited for our council meeting next week. All of the presidential interns will be coming to the council meeting to give public comment and to just see how our council meetings work. So these are all students who it's their first exposure to USAC, so I'm really excited to have them see us next week. Maybe, and say their names. Very well. Yeah, bring them too. Yeah, intern party. Yeah, there you go. You should all bring your interns. Okay. Are there any announcements? Ashley?
There is another healing space that's occurring this Thursday, November 17th, 7 to 9 p.m. in Bunch 10383. It's hosted by Indus as well as with 13 other organizations, including some USAC offices as well as other South Asian organizations. So please spread the word about that. It is during the bonfire, but you can still make the first half of the bonfire and come to this event. So that's what I, along with a lot of others, will be doing. But yes, it's a community building space happening this Thursday, 7 to 10 p.m.
Thank you. Any additional announcements? Sabrina?
Okay, so since I'm not putting agendas, hopefully everyone will look at the agendas ahead of time. And Jennifer's gonna be coming in, I've seen Claire's gonna be coming in next week to explain all the changes. But just like, please look over all the documents, they're kind of lengthy, but try to be like knowledgeable of what we're gonna be talking about, for next Tuesday. And, read the links I sent, because they're very uplifting/hopeful, which is something we kind of need, these next 4 years. So, yes, that's all.
Okay, and with that, we'll go ahead and close announcements, move into the signing of the attendance sheet, so we can have that passed around, wherever it may be, right now, because it is. And, I can entertain a motion to adjourn council at 7:55.
I move to adjourn council at 7:55.
Second? Second by Jordan, all those in favor, please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All those opposed, and all those abstaining, council has been adjourned at 7:55. Now, we can, turn off USAC live. There we go.